On a Monday edition of the program, Merely Bo, the Great Z, March 27th out there, my friend. How about that?
March 27th. That is Miss K's birthday.
2 days before mine.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a great time.
It's got that feel like a 58. Yeah. I know it's just one day, so I'm okay with it.
And it's going to get hot
really
soon.
Hot. Well, it's June. It's got to.
Yeah, it's time.
We got to do it. You got to do it. How you doing?
I'm great.
I missed you. I missed you last week.
I know. I missed you. You were.
I think that's probably true. I think you may have missed me more.
I think so. Certainly from 1 to 3, I did. I missed you. By the way, it should come as no surprise. One of the hot topics of the day is that, and we got the Hoff coming up in a few minutes, which is going to be great. His team has been smashing people.
The Hoff is joining us.
Hoff will be joining us at 1:05.
Shortly.
But Gibbe's flight already delayed. We're already starting with this.
Where's he going?
He's in Florida.
When he's trying to get back?
Yeah,
he got pinched again on the way back?
Shocker.
Just like the last time?
I told the boys this last week. I was like, he will be.
He was supposed to fly today?
Yeah. He's supposed to be back.
He's supposed to be in the show today?
No, but he's supposed to be
fly
coming back today.
And now he's not.
We don't know.
And there are apparently no flights between Southwest Florida and the state of Ohio.
No.
And he's not on one of the carriers where it's like, sorry, best of luck. Like he's on a legitimate thing.
I think so. I don't know.
Or did he try to go cheap again?
Brock's been in contact with him. I said I can't even talk to him about it. What do you know, Brock? What's the latest?
Is he on a big carrier?
I don't know much. He just said he was delayed, and I haven't heard anything since.
Why? I wonder what the delays would be flying out of that area.
So is he flying out of Tampa?
No, I think he's out of that. The Naples,
Southwest
Florida, whatever.
RSW.
Yeah, I think that's where he's out of.
Let's see what the weather's like down there. And I can't imagine it's that bad that he wouldn't be able to fly.
It is odd that it's always happened to him on the way back.
Only him. And only him. And we'll just put in I'll put in Naples. That'll give it to us. Naples, Florida today. It's got a little bit of it's 89.
Okay, it's fine this time of year.
There's 15 minutes of rain.
Mechanical?
15 minutes of rain at 1:30. I mean, I don't know. Isn't that is that Broward County? Is that what that?
No, that's
Miami.
That's Lauderdale's.
That's
Broward,
Lauderdale.
Yeah, Miami-Dade and Broward.
What am I thinking? Fort Myers.
Yeah,
that's what I'm looking at. Fort Myers.
Yeah.
See if Fort Myers is any worse. Fort Myers may have rain in the next 30.
Listen, it's Florida. It's going to rain every day all summer.
It looks to me like it's sunny and 90 degrees. So
come on, Gibby. Come on. So he's going to turn this into an extra day or two of vacation.
Of course he is.
Work. Yeah, we're going to get into tomorrow, mandatory mini camp, by the way, and he'll know Gibby. Where is he? Oh, he's air trouble.
Sorry, yeah. You know how it is trying to fly these days. It's tough.
Tough out there.
It's tough out there.
It's tough out there. I'll grant him that. It is not easy out there, that's for sure. That was good. So Gibby will get back. And then this is a big week. This is it.
It's a huge week.
Mandatory minicamp.
Yeah.
We're here.
That's right.
Yeah. I know we have the Hoff coming up here in about a minute. I did not see the Deshaun video until this morning.
Same.
Terrifying.
Actually, same. He's fine.
I know, but it was terrifying in the moment. If you were there.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Well, we've got to do a better job of talking, right? That's about communication right there. And
I think it is.
And in my mind, that you've got to be saying Zaire Mitchell-Payton, stay away.
Run around, zigzag.
Stay away from the franchise.
Yeah. All right, speaking of the franchise, he is the franchise.
Oh my
of all franchises.
Because he's the
greatest. And he joins us on the Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea Hotline. He's official sponsor of your Cleveland Browns. Keep it twisted, Cleveland. He is the Hall of Famer, the Hoff. Guten Tag, Hoff.
Guten Tag, my friend.
Hoff!
How are we doing today?
Oh, the Hoff. God, music to my ears.
Oh, baby.
Oh, man. I text with the Hoff all the time, but it's not the same as getting to hear
you got to hear the voice.
Oh, man. Hoff, we miss you, dude.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, but I definitely miss you guys, man. It's been too long that we've been able to break bread and get together and share our love of Cleveland Browns, vino, bourbon.
Yes.
All of the above.
Meats cooked by the meat stick. I mean, all the great things in life. It's just been too long.
It's way too long. And yeah, your kids are thriving. They're scoring tries in
Yeah.
rugby. You got the Ravens. At least I saw this most recent one put a whooping on somebody. What's going on? Give us a breakdown of the sports land over there. What's going on with the Munich Ravens? And then the children seem to be taking to many international European style sports very well.
Oh no, I think I got you guys now. Something
no.
tragic happened, but hopefully I can.
No,
hear you.
He's back. No, we
hear
can
us?
hear you.
You good,
Yeah.
Hoff?
I was just saying, sports wise, it seems like things are going great. The Ravens are handing out beatings, and your kids are dominating rugby. So give us a breakdown of the sports world over there right now.
We had a little bit of a rocky start for the Ravens. We took one on the chin in week 1 to Stuttgart in a big soccer stadium, Sinsheim, which I guess is like one of the Division I Bundesliga teams. The noise, the environment, it overwhelmed our young squad, but we were able to bounce back, and now we're doing well, and the rugby with the kiddos is doing amazing. I'm learning a lot about rugby since I knew nothing going into it, and it's been so fun just seeing them kind of embrace.
He's got it. I think we got him.
the Hoff. Is he back? I mean, we're trying. This is Germany.
It is German. We are. Yeah.
He is in Germany. Yeah,
He's done it on
I think he's having trouble hearing us.
He's done it from the top of a mountain during an elk hunt.
That's true. He did, but elevation.
Elevation.
Let me try and get him.
That was elevation.
That
I
was
think
elevation.
was the key to that. Is if you go high enough, then you could swoop right down and transmit.
Yeah.
Is probably the way that goes. Yeah. So I will tell you, it is hard to get used to hearing him say the Ravens in a positive light.
Yes, agreed.
I would almost like him to
Agreed.
just refer to them as Munich.
Munich. Yeah.
Let's just be Munich is the way that goes. He's in the hotbed of it. I mean, he's got Bayern Munich played in the Champions League semifinal and lost to Madrid, and now this week the Euros are firing up. So the Germans are always formidable, and they open up European Championship play this Friday. So I'm guessing he is swimming in the footy.
He's got to be. I mean, that's the whole
got Joe
thing.
back.
That's
the
what
whole
they
thing.
do. Yeah, there's Hoff. Hoff?
Yes.
Yes.
Hopefully this is not the tease that it was before, but yeah, I was saying it's been really fun. I mean, the weather's starting to get a little nicer out here finally, which is kind of weird. I guess Europe gets their summer a little bit later than we are when it finally hits, because it's still like in the 60s here. But things are rolling. We didn't start so hot where we took one on the chin to Stuttgart in the first game in a big soccer stadium. It was just a big environment. I think it was just a little too much for our guys. But we bounced back. We went to Milan. We shellacked them 2 weeks ago, and then we shellacked Prague yesterday at home for our first home victory. So it's been great.
That was a beating, wasn't it?
Kids rugby, yeah, it was a beating. We crushed. I mean, offensively we were fine, but it was not like we did anything good. But like first punt of the game, we blocked it. Then the next series their offense had, we sacked fumbles, so we got the ball in the 20 again. Then the next drive, we returned the kickoff to like the 4. It was a little bit like a high school game when you have like one dominant team and
Yeah.
really shouldn't be there, where it's just like they can't get anything going. So we were scoring wonderful touchdowns like 3-4 times in a row from like their 20-yard line because we had such amazing field position.
Hoff,
And it's always good to get some victories and drink a few beers and the game to celebrate.
Hoff, what is the level of play? What would it compare to over here? Like what level of football?
Yeah, so it's interesting. So you've got some tier 1 teams who would kind of be like Ryan Fire, who won the championship last year, Stuttgart. We're trying to get there. We're kind of in the middle. Some of the teams that have been around, they've got tradition, they've got facilities. They are actually some of the teams that used to be NFL Europe.
Yeah, right. Ryan Fire was for sure. Yeah.
So they've got a fan base, they've got support, they've got money behind it. All things. They've got all things. And then there's a lot of other up-and-coming teams, and because of the rules, we're only allowed 4 Americans. And you're only allowed a certain small number of players that are called EA sports, guys that aren't from your country, but they're still European. So this has amount of football talent in all of Europe. The Germans are kind of at an advantage. So you got teams like Milan, teams like Prague, like we played in the Czech Republic, Paris. like some of these other teams, it's just harder for them to find enough good football players to put together a football team. So your tier 1 teams are kind of comparable to maybe like smaller Division 1, I would say, in quality. And then your lower quality teams are more like kind of like small Division 3, honestly. And I don't think it's because football talent-wise, they don't have the talent, resources, and they don't have the experience. And so you get these crazy mismatches where it's like they can't do this. Like they just don't have cornerbacks, so they can't cover. So you just the crap out of, hey, we'll just keep throwing to these dudes who can't cover in the corner, and then you just rack up 50 in the first half. So you get some really unbalanced matchups. But I think some of the better games are something that you would maybe recognize as kind of like Division 1 quality.
All right, which is
that's kind of where I thought.
Yeah, exactly. And that's so you like it when you guys go international, when you take on the Milans and the Pragues. That's when you hand out beatings. It's what can you do in country that's going to determine how far the Ravens go this year, or we'll just call Munich. How far Munich goes under the tutelage of the Hoff. Hoff, I don't know if you know this, but not Pedro. My father was a big rugby player and toured the world playing rugby. He was a hooker. Was his position.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And so there's a little rugby in my blood for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. It's a fun game. Like I knew nothing about it. I mean, obviously as a football player, you're like, oh, rugby's kind of similar. I'm sure it'd be fun, but I just never got around to watching it, right? It's just not something that's accessible. You really got to seek it out in the States. But it is a great game. It is fun to watch. It's nonstop. And when your kids are out there, I mean, they only play like 15-minute halves. So the game's over in 30 minutes. Actually, it might even be like 12-minute halves, and then you got like a 5-minute halftime. But the games are just lightning quick, but there's no stoppage. It's pretty much just constant action. Kids are just wrestling with each other. Every 2 or 3 minutes, kids bump heads or, they run into each other. They land and crying and turn and put something else in there. I mean, it's just fun. It's something that I wish they had more of in the States. It really is a kids game. And actually, my team is co-ed. So my daughter Cameron, who's 10, and my son Jack, who's 8, they both play on the same team.
Jack, he was in there. He had a nice burst around the right side for that try. Yeah.
Hoff, did you get to? Have you been to? Have you seen Bayern Munich play? Did you get it done?
No, I'm really sad to say I didn't. It was kind of towards the end of their season when we got there, and I was making a point, and then we were, blah, 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 this and that. And then I was like, all right, they're in the playoffs. I'm going to go. And they were playing Barcelona, I think, at home, maybe in the semifinal.
Madrid.
And I was like, I'm going to go. Madrid. It was Madrid, yeah. So it was another great football powerhouse. And I was like, yeah, I got to go. And I looked up tickets, and they were selling standing room only tickets for this game for €2,000 a pop.
Yep.
I was like, boy, I really want to see him play, but I'm not sure I want to go that bad. But the consolation prize is I'm still going to go see a soccer match. So the European Cup is going on as of Friday. It starts in Germany. So Paul Brown, the great Browns fan of the same name as Mr. Paul Brown, who founded the Browns.
Of course.
He is from London, a big fan, so he got tickets to England versus Slovenia in Cologne. So it's like in 2 weeks, I think. So I'm going to go up there with him. I'm going to meet him. We're going to do the proper hooliganism. We're going to go to the England versus Slovenia game. And so at least I get to see one proper soccer match when I'm out here. So that should be a great time.
Hooligan Hoff, what an addition to your hooligan crew. What a guy. I mean, just unbelievable. By the way, we were talking earlier about some of the tasty treats that I had been making and sharing with you across the pond, and I know you're eager to return for a delightful tomahawk, but I have to say congratulations are in order for the first Wagyu, right? The first Wagyu cow, full Wagyu, is in the Hoff stables.
Yes, very big news on our farm.
How about that?
We kind of pivoted a little bit from raising Angus Simmental to kind of going full blood Wagyu. So Akaushi Wagyu. I found a breeder in Wisconsin, actually. He's like the only guy in Wisconsin. And so we started buying some heifers a couple years ago, but we were still breeding those heifers to our Angus. And so we were getting like a Wangus, which is a great breed, no doubt. But I said, you know what? Let's just go full in, right? There's nothing that I do that's half-assed. So
that's right.
It's either all or nothing. Pedal to the metal. So this past year, I bought a Wagyu full blood bull, And so we bred them to our Wagyu heifers. And so then this year, I think we got 7 Wagyu calves. So we got 5 heifers and we got 2 bull calves. So we're heading down the path of being full-blood Wagyu, and it's been awesome. They're the cutest little things because they're kind of lighter color than like a red Angus or the black Angus, and they've got this like really cute like Labrador Retriever face, at least on the calves. So it's exciting, and I know I'm excited to get back to the farm when I get home, and the kids are excited to see all the babies.
Don't name them.
Too late.
Oh, no, Hoff.
We named one Bo and one Z, so
Oh, no.
sure we'll put the tag on them right now. In 2 years, they're all yours.
Oh my! Well, that's fine. I don't have any love for them. There's no connection. I'd be happy to take a side of Mr. Bo from you, but that's it. That ends up
Come on down,
sad, baby.
Z.
Woo!
Yeah, we definitely confronted that issue head on at the very beginning, because the very first batch of calves that we were going to raise and we were going to slaughter, we named them after all of our kids and all of our kids' cousins.
Oh, my God.
It was like Logan, Jack, Cameron.
Oh, no.
Reese. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So over that real quick that, by the way, we're eating Jack, and it's delicious.
Jack, you're great.
You're great. Hey, Hoff, I was down at the Hall of Fame on Saturday, and I checked in on you. You got a great perch, buddy.
Oh, thanks.
I don't know if you've seen where your bust is?
No, where is it?
Okay, so you're on the top shelf. You obviously are in the most recent class, and you're kind of in a position where you can see like the first class. So you can kind of see across in that kind of hall of busts. You can see across like the guys, the first like 10 classes, you're kind of looking right at them, and then you're looking across at some of the more recent classes. It's a great perch. You look great, buddy.
Oh. Well, I appreciate that. Thanks for checking on me and visiting. You know, I get lonely over there, obviously. And, so it's great having good friends stop by. Hopefully you brought me something to eat and drink, because I'm starving up there.
Yeah, you haven't eaten.
Nobody feeds you anything.
You still look robust, though, despite not eating. You look very robust.
Yeah, it's great.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's great. He looks great. So what do we have planned? Anything for the summer, or now that you're in season, does that make it a little more challenging for the various getaways that we've been enjoying with the Swiss Family Hoff as they've made their way around all of Europe?
Family Hoff. Yeah, we've done a lot of stuff. We've had so much fun with all the journeys. Like, that's cool about being in Munich, is it's a hub for Lufthansa, so you can get almost anywhere direct. But with the season started, we're traveling for the games, and it's cool being in the Southern Conference, because we play at Milan, at Prague, at Innsbruck, Austria. We play at Barcelona, and Stuttgart in Germany is our only German team that's in our division.
Okay.
So it's really cool. So going to those games alone is cool, because, like I said, if we play Sunday, we'll usually come down Sunday morning, but let's do the night game. So we'll actually stay the night after the game.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is so cool to see. And I got the in-bar on the hand. My family's coming. But then they got after. So I think we're going to Portugal and do some like surfing. We're going to stay on the beach and attend something. I don't know. We haven't told. But we'll definitely turn that into a little bit of adventure. And then we got one more about it's kind of you have kind of bye week, like a week season. So we get a little bit of time off. But one of the things we wanted to do is Bavaria in the summer is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So we wanted to try to spend as much time here as we could. Since we don't have quite as much to do to travel, but diet in the mountains, going again, raft, hanging out in the Scar in Munich, and going to the lakes, because there's tons of these really cool lakes that kind of ring on Munich. So we got a lot of cool stuff planned, but a little bit more locally here in Bavaria.
Well, buddy, we can't thank you enough.
Yes.
We think about you, as you know, often, and it's good to talk to you. Enjoy this summer and the rest of your time, and hopefully we'll check in with you again soon. Thanks for your time, buddy, as always.
Hey, it's great hearing your voices, guys.
Hold me. Hold me.
The great Hoff.
Love it.
There he is. Obviously some challenges with audio there, but at the same time it's the Hoff, and so a lot of that worked out okay, but there were tough. It got pretty dicey at the end.
Yeah.
All right, here you go. I'm gonna. This is the league. I got the league up.
Okay.
The Europe League. Barcelona,
Yeah.
Dragons.
Yep.
So that
was an original.
Yep. Frankfurt Galaxy.
Original.
Munich Ravens, Hoff's team. Raiders, Tirol, Tirol. I don't know what that is. Madrid Bravos. Great look, by the way, with a fighting bull. Berlin Thunder. Hamburg Sea Devils. Wroclaw Panthers. Rain Fire.
That's original.
Yep. Cologne Centurions. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Helvetic Mercenaries. Paris Musketeers. Stuttgart Surge. Fehérvár Enthroners.
Where are they from?
It
Scandinavia?
feels like Turkey
Turkey?
based on the spelling, but I've never heard of that. Milano Seamen. You said it. Prague Lions and Vienna Vikings. That's the setup.
Man. Yeah,
What's
so
the
it sounded
setup
like
there?
he was saying, I was, unfortunately, that's when it was kind of cutting out. I was going to ask him, so what's like the travel? So he's used to traveling with the Browns. Like, what's the travel situation? Are you guys flying commercial?
Well, so the
Are
other
they
thing-
busing?
The other thing that I took from
Training?
that was interesting was, and they're used to this over there. They're not worried about everybody having equal footing. They're not worried about everybody spending the same money. It's over there, the soccer teams, there are the haves and the nots.
Yep.
And Bayern Munich, where he is, I don't know this for sure, but I feel like I could say it relatively emphatically. I would bet that Bayern Munich's won more Bundesliga championships than the rest of the Bundesliga combined.
Yeah.
That would not surprise me if that were the case.
Yeah.
Right? And so they don't, and they're called Club Hollywood. Like they acquire players.
Yeah.
Almost everybody else in Germany develops them and loses them.
Yeah.
Erling Haaland and Bellingham. Bellingham at Madrid, Haaland at Man City. Those are both Borussia Dortmund players, who's Munich's biggest rival. So my hunch is that not really worried about it. And it's weird because they're not locked into jeez.
Look at him. Look at him just coming right in here.
Just
just
paint
paint
it.
it on.
Paint it on, Miyagi. Paint it on. They still have in the soccer, they still have incredible fandom despite no chance of winning anything.
Yeah.
They go into it with no chance. So
How about he's going with Paul Brown? Love it.
That's amazing. I got to say,
it's
like,
amazing, but also the least
also
surprising
not.
thing ever.
we got to talk to him about this. Like, he shouldn't have waited to the Champions semifinal to go see Bayern.
You should have seen them play.
He needed to go a Bundesliga game
against a jabroni team.
sometime earlier.
Yeah.
Also, the Hoff. Come on, Hoff. You're killing it.
He's doing fine.
He's killed it.
Doing fine.
And then I think he's got to see Germany play if he's going to go see.
Yeah.
He needs to see the Germans
In Germany.
in Germany. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got to get that done. But that was fun. What a cool thing. It's almost like if.
He's been there for 6 months now.
I know it. He's been there for 6 months. He's got a couple more months left. He comes back in September, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a long time.
It's a long season, too, this football season.
Yeah. I imagine his kids will look back on this with just wonderment that we did this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really cool.
I
Really.
mean, are you kidding me? They've been on safari.
They were in Namibia, weren't they?
They're in Namibia. They're going to go surfing in Portugal. They've
Yeah.
been in every mountain range there is around there.
They've skied everywhere.
Gone
Yeah.
everywhere. Yeah, like amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really cool. Really cool to be able to do something like that. It takes.
I thought Hoff was saying, he's like, the family comes to some of the trips, but not all. And he's like, it's nice to be, I think it'd be cool to go to Prague for one night, just unleashed into a city. That'd be great.
Yeah. I think you could get into some fun. I don't
Yeah.
think there's any doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's probably true. Yeah. No, I think so. Yeah. So that's good. It was good having him on.
Oh, my goodness.
He's the best. He's the very
Just
best.
to hear his voice was a treat.
It really was. All right, we'll get you set for minicamp week. Go over some of the big stories of the weekend as well. We will do that coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. It's a lot going on. Welcome back in, Cleveland Browns Daily, Monday edition of the program. Minicamp week is upon us, Dr. Z. The entire 90-man squad arrives today. Team meetings tonight. They're going to hit the field in the meeting rooms Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all around 11 o'clock. And we got some work to do, buddy.
We do. And by the way, if you're following the Browns on social media, they're posting pictures from and various videos from Media Day. Jameis having a great time. And then also Nick Chubb one that looks pretty awesome. So that is fantastic. So, yeah, just follow at Browns on Twitter right now. Is posting a bunch of different ones. And they had one with Nick Chubb sitting on a bench, looking in his uni, looking great. And that one gets you. That's got to get you excited there.
Yeah, get you jacked up.
Yeah, that'll get you.
What are you looking for
out of minicamp
in the next 3 days?
Nobody getting hurt.
That's it. Yeah. It is a bigger one, though, in terms of, like, this is a different offensive – it's a different offense.
I'm curious to see that with the full complement of the defense, and I'm curious. And really, you hope that Deshaun is at a point where he can maybe participate in some 7-on-7s. That would be fun to watch, but we don't know if that'll be the case. We'll find that out, obviously, I would say tomorrow, because he's been throwing every other day, and you wonder, does he try to go 3 days in a row here before the big break and ramp it up? So that's really kind of that's it. Look,
I would do nothing to hurry him up, by the way.
I don't need to.
Right? I mean, you and I are in unison on that. Like,
I wouldn't mind seeing him in 7-on-7.
Sure,
though.
I would too, but I also, if there's any like, not quite, fine. See you in August. You're fine. You're safe.
This mini camp is just going to be, fun to see some of the different stuff. What are some of the new pieces in our offense? Are there new motions pre-snap? Are there personnel groupings we're not accustomed to? For example, 10 personnel, which we've seen sometimes already, which is 4 receivers, 1 running back, no tight end.
Yep.
We've seen that at times. So we've seen I've even seen 4 receivers with a tight end out there. So, and no running back. Just go empty and be like, we got all our dudes here. Stop us.
Yeah.
So those will be interesting things to see how they all play out, and so that's kind of what you're looking for. But the reality is this is an incredibly talented team. Mm-hmm. You just want people to stay healthy. You don't want any scary incidents like we saw in Kansas City, or we've seen players, pop Achilles. We've seen some guys go down around the league. You just want to avoid all that. To me, there's nothing to be gained that could make me feel like, oh, man, now we're really good, because I've seen it in minicamp versus – but it'll be fun to see the team. It'll be fun to see Dustin Hopkins. We haven't seen him, this offseason. So those things will be good to see, but really it's stay healthy. Check out some of the wrinkles that are going to be in there. Hopefully we'll get another kick return session, because that was probably my most fun session so far of this entire OTA period, because it's new, and you could see the impact it potentially can have. So that's it. I love that.
I got an update from Gibby.
Oh, man.
So my mother calls me almost freaking out because she's been listening to you two goofs, and she thought I was airborne already. Different airline, different day, same blank. This is amazing. He's even deceiving his own mom.
Yeah.
Gibby is.
Because she
this
thought I
big
was airborne.
charade.
Yeah, right.
Oh, we're flying back Monday. I bet you are, Gibby.
I bet you are, Gibby. Yeah.
Little extra day down there. That's how that's going.
I love it. I'm just
it's 58 here today. Might as well get another nice day down there in the sun.
Enjoy it. Yeah.
Enjoy. 90 degrees.
I told him I'm not an hourly employee, so I just back.
That'll be. I look forward to that response.
It's gonna be thrilled.
That's gonna go. We also inked Mike Hall to his contract. All rookies signed, sealed, going into minicamp.
Yeah,
so we had that as well. Did you have a nice weekend?
Great weekend. So Miss Kay and I went up to her family's lake house in right outside Ann Arbor. Had 2 great days out on the lake. It was glorious. It was glorious.
Nice to get away.
Yeah.
That's very, very good.
It's the first time we'd ever been up there, just the 2 of us. We've always we've always had the kids with us, and sometimes unfortunately schedules don't work, so the kids aren't able to come with us. But our parents are there. This is the first time we've ever been there, just us.
Oh, just you guys,
just us.
No parents, nothing.
Nobody.
Just freewheeling out there, living it, baby.
Living.
Oh, that's great.
It was
a nice
great.
little trip. Get out on the boat, get on the lake, float around.
Yeah,
that's nice.
And I love that, like with the sous vide, having the sous vide means that you can have the best steak anywhere in the world. So we always travel with it. So we shopped the day before. Brought it all up there. We had our Yeti backpack, so we had all the refrigerated stuff in there on ice, so that everything came in was fine. And then, sous vide the steak, threw it on the grill. It was an absolute delight.
Of course it was a delight. Yeah, that's a game changer on that, too, because it also allows for you to it stays at that temp. So if
Yeah.
you don't have to be right in. There's no timing.
And all grills are different.
Yeah.
So you don't know, is this grill the same as my grill?
Yeah.
You have no idea.
No idea.
But this, you only need to finish it. Great.
All you gotta do is sear it up, baby,
Sear it up.
and you're good. I was down in Columbus
what'd you do?
Thursday and Friday for
Right.
the Memorial Tournament.
And I imagine you're chasing sports around.
Well, no, we were not much.
No?
This was a down weekend, so we
How
had,
great is that?
Well, it won't last long, but it was kind of down for that. So we were down to the Memorial Tournament. It made me miss. What did he have? Has he responded?
Yeah. So much hate.
Oh my God, that's so fun. The team would save a blank amount of money.
It's not true, actually,
It's not
because
true.
it
You
would
be
my
your
rate-
yearly would be
Yeah.
outrageous. By the way, when you go down there, and it's an experience that a great many of you probably had at Firestone through the years, and it made me miss the fact that we don't have more of this. That as of now, we have the Memorial Tournament. That's not going anywhere, but you have that tournament, but that's it. This state has 7 of the top 100 golf courses in the world, or in this state, in the United States, rather. 7 of the top 100 in the United States. There's absolutely, and they have 4 of the top 100 in the world. There's no reason that this state doesn't host majors. There's no reason that the idea that you lost Firestone and it wasn't replaced by something else is nonsense.
And why is it? Why is there no tournament at Firestone anymore?
They lost the sponsorship with Firestone. Firestone pulled out of the sponsorship, so they pulled it. And then FedEx said, well, that slot, that tournament, since we're going to pay for the FedEx Cup, we're going to do that one in Memphis.
Yeah.
Because that's
At
where we're
ours.
from.
Yeah.
So that one has replaced.
It stinks because it's got so
Firestone.
much tradition.
Well, of course it does, and it's a big time track. And in the old days, you were kind of bookended in the summer because Tiger was dominant at both. So you kind of got Tiger down in Columbus, and then you got Tiger up here to start the summer and close the summer.
Yeah,
because that one was always in August. And it just stinks that there's no chance for it. But it's just to see those guys play, and I've asked them, like, would you ever allow them to do a PGA or U.S. Open here, and the Memorial people really push back on it. I laid out a plan for them, like put the Scioto at Muirfield, or put the Memorial Tournament at Scioto where he learned to play, and then give the U.S. Open or the PGA to Muirfield that year. And that's kind of my proposal for it. But I think
like your proposal.
Jack's the winningest major golfer of all time. He's in the top 2 player that ever play the game. Him and Tiger, pick one, doesn't matter. Not going to be wrong. You can make an argument for either. But the notion that you're not going to get a major in his home state or in his hometown, again, like the last one in this state was Inverness, a U.S. Open, I want to say in like the late 70s or early 80s. It's been that long, 50 years.
And that's like
It's Toledo.
nowhere.
Yeah, but it's Toledo. Come on.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
What's the best golf course in Northeast Ohio? Firestone?
Yeah, I'm sure Firestone from a I bet it's ranked the highest, don't you think?
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. I mean, what would be? That's the other thing. Like Columbus has 4. They've got 4 in the top 100 in the world with
Muirfield, Scioto. What else?
Double Eagle in the golf club.
Okay.
So those are all top 100 in the world courses.
Yeah.
But they have 4.
Yeah, it's
So-
I'll tell you, watching that tournament, I watched it the whole ride home back. Got to watch basically we left the cottage and they were on 6.
Yeah.
And then was able, and Scheffler made that birdie, which was, I believe, his only birdie of the day. And then we got to watch it basically the whole car ride back. It is so different watching a tournament on a golf course that you've played.
It is.
It's so much more fun to watch.
Which, to give them credit, that's why they're so adamant about you playing in the media day before. I know you didn't do that.
Yeah.
But like for so many of us who played the media day all those years, like they wanted us to experience what the players did. So that's why, like, one year it'd be the par 3s, one year the par 4s, the other the par 5s. They would make us play from their tees and say, understand this is where they are and this is where you are. That's the beauty of it.
Yes.
So you got that experience.
Yes.
Now, you were playing privately, but like you were able to go and play it, and now all of a sudden you probably were aware of the Memorial Tournament, probably watched it when Tiger was in the mix. I guarantee you watched it entirely differently this weekend, having played it.
Yeah, knowing just how hard it is, and it's a great test. And it's funny that 2 courses that I've played that I see tournaments at the most would be this one and then Olympia Fields, where they have the BMW, and I know how tough that course. I still cannot get my head around the fact that Hovland, I think, shot 28 on the back 9. it's insane. Like,
Yeah.
it blows my mind.
They had 4 golfers yesterday under par. The best round of the day was 2 under.
There's one birdie on number 18.
Yeah.
These are the best players in the world. This is a great loaded field.
Yeah. Jack on Thursday said they asked him, well, what do you think the score will be? Oh, here's the other thing. So Scheffler won at 8 under, won it. The leader on day 1 was 6 under because it rained Wednesday night. So it rained like almost 2 inches Wednesday night. So the day 1 it was
they
soft,
were able to
but then it was 70 and windy, breezy the rest of the way. They couldn't hold anything.
Couldn't hold the greens.
No,
they're the best ball strikers in the world.
Yeah.
Scheffler is the best player in the world. It's not even close. He had I would say for him, probably his C game. I saw him miss more shots. I saw him miss more putts than I think I've ever seen, and he still won relatively easily. I mean, he made a triple on 9.
Yeah.
He hit a ball off the reservation on that tee shot on Saturday. It still won. He bogeyed par 5s. Pros don't bogey par 5s.
I want to say he was. I think is he 71st in putts gained over the field, but he's number 1 in everything else.
Yeah, and this week he wasn't even like this. This was not even close to his. He could have won this tournament by 10 shots.
Yeah,
pretty easy.
Yeah,
and he's so good. So it tells you. Now the reason that it's the biggest shame that there isn't a major there is because of what's currently going on. So you don't have any of the live guys in the field. No. So you don't have DeChambeau or Koepka or you don't have
Rahm.
The full complement of I want that that course is deserving of a completely full field.
Yeah, and you're never going to have one again. They used to do pretty close to that. They would say we have the top 10 players in the world. Like they used to get that all the time when they were 2 weeks before the U.S. Open. They would get
that's
that.
why Lingermurth win in there is still one of the
it's
craziest
crazy
thing that's ever happened.
It really, truly is. Yeah. But so they're never going to have that again. And you're right. They should have that. And I've heard people say, they'll probably get a Ryder Cup or a President's. They've had those things before. But we haven't. You need to have a major there. And that's something that you need to have a major in Ohio. You can't have the type of golf courses in this state and not have one.
Agreed.
It's just not right. I
had a couple of things real quick just from the broadcast that I couldn't have loved anymore.
Go.
And I don't know how much you watched it, but I want to say on Saturday afternoon, I turned it on for a second. It rained for a little bit in the early afternoon, and then we went over to see Killa's grandpa. And Nance, they're talking about Peyton shot a 71 in the Wednesday Pro-Am.
Okay.
And then Nance goes, funny, the score hasn't been posted yet. And so they were giving Peyton crap for he said his partners back home probably want to make sure that score's posted. We're talking about it now on national TV. And then some other guy says something about it, and then Nance is like, all right, fine, we'll give him a few days. But they were calling Peyton Manning out for shooting 71 in the Pro-Am and not posting, which I thought was hysterical.
Why would he be ashamed to post a 71?
Because it probably lowers his handicap.
Not
ashamed. I was
going to say, that's dealing because that's crazy to shoot 71. So he was interviewed afterwards, and in classic him, you would think that you're interviewing some bozo.
Yeah.
He's like, I kicked it around, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking no, you did not kick it around.
Do they play, what tees do they play in the Pro-Am? Do they play the tournament tees?
No, not everybody. So he probably played them. They have 2 sets. I want to say it's 68 for the member. Yeah. The member tee is 68. So I'm guessing it was there. That's where they played from. But Rory and those guys were back.
Still, because they're practicing the course.
But he was still almost
71.
Feet.
But I thought that was
that's very funny.
Hysterical.
That's very good. Yeah.
I texted the only person I know who's ever golfed with Peyton Manning and was like, they are literally calling him out for not posting a 71 on the broadcast of the Memorial, which is
that's pretty great.
Unreal.
That's pretty great.
So I thought that was great. And then it was cool, Jack getting all emotional and what it means. And, for Scheffler, Jack had told him, years before, you're going to get this handshake as a champion. And then the fact that came out of this tournament that I heard Nance mention once, and then obviously when he won, he said it again, is that now the only players to ever win at Muirfield, so the Memorial, the Players' Championship, and the Masters in the same season, it's just happened twice, Tiger and Scheffler.
It's one of those statistical anomalies, but it's a hell of an impressive one. It's an absurdly impressive group.
Very
That
impressive.
you could it's it's just a hell of a list.
Yeah, nobody else
Those
has
are
ever
the
done
two
it.
guys to do it.
Yeah.
He's won 2 majors. Over under 9.5.
For his career?
Yep.
Under. I just think
Right.
it's so hard.
Because there's only 3 guys who have been over that. Hagen, Woods, Nicklaus. That's it. That's
Yeah.
the list.
I think he's the best player in the world, though, right now by a good margin.
I clearly. I mean, even
See his FedEx.
One time he was
2,000, almost 3,000 points ahead.
Yeah, I mean, he's
of
won
second.
Bay Hill this year. He's won.
Yeah, he won at
the
Arnold's
Masters.
place, Jack's place.
Yeah,
Let's be honest. The only time he really
would've
hasn't
won
won
the
is he was
PG
arrested.
he finished 8th.
By the
despite
way.
that, by the way,
Why are they releasing some of this stuff that makes them, in my opinion, look even worse?
it's got to be Freedom of Information Act stuff. Like they got to be that, right?
Like his knee.
Oh, come on. Yeah, jeez, this is ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous.
He threw himself into the car.
Yeah, nuts. Absolute nuts. Yeah.
What about when he's in there getting booked and somebody's like, "You're too chill to be the #1 player in the world. You should have had a driver." So he's like, "Yeah, thanks.
Thanks
Cool.
for that. Thank you. Really appreciate
Yeah.
that. That's great.
Great.
No, he's an absolute beast. What's cool about it is I was watching yesterday afternoon with the boys, and he had just finished. They'd just gotten through 13 or 14, and they were like, "Dad, can we please go play? Can we please go play?" Because what you want to do when you watch it is you want to go play.
Yep.
Like it inspires you to go play. And I'm like, I'd really like to watch this, but at the same time, like, how many Sundays do you get? And I didn't see him much of the weekend, and so I'm like, how many Sundays do you get? All right, fine, let's go. So my elbow's been bugging me like crazy over the last week or so.
Yeah.
And so it was me and Bootsy against the two older boys, and we get to it's a hell of a match. NBC actually had his first natural birdie on a par 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
All the way his ball tee to green and got his first birdie, which was really
Awesome.
Cool. Yeah, he was really jacked about that.
I bet.
Made a big putt, hit a good second, so that was cool.
Did he have like what was this? Did he have a celebration? You give it a nice
More
fist pump?
just because the putt was kind of tough. It was probably about a 15 footer that was kind of had a little bend to it.
Yeah.
And he just rattled in. He was more just in disbelief. He's like, he goes, I can't even believe I did that. I'm so proud. Like he was like, yeah, you should be, man. It's awesome.
Put some respect on my name.
That's right. So we, anyway, it was back and forth the whole time, and we get to the last hole, and I pull out my driver and I hit it 1,000 miles into the woods first.
Okay.
And so now Bootsy's on the tee. I'm like, dude, we're hitting at least a 3 coming out of that. Like, I need you here, buddy. So I coached him up, and he gets up on the tee box, and they all played really well. And he hit it about 5 to 6 feet off the ground, 125 yards right down the middle of the fairway. And I went, perfect.
So now you
Perfect.
could use his. Yeah.
So we use his because now we're in good shape going forward. So we finish, and we make he and I we made 5.
That's a par 5, right? 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we made 5, and they make 6, and he goes, or no, we finished on 17 because we had a missed club. So I turn back, and this is what I see walking off of the 17 tee.
Who's he waving to? His brother?
I said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm waving to the crowd." So then,
because he smoked it.
because he did it. So
Little
then we
acknowledgement.
get up, and then as he comes across, he goes, no interviews, please." Like just
I just want to spend this time with my family.
with his family.
Oh,
There he goes.
man.
But it inspires, and that's the thing that we miss by not having Firestone up here anymore.
Yeah.
Because you had that weekend that inspires.
Yeah.
And it does. Billy Joe, Rod Stewart together, first time ever. It is
One night only.
It is one night only. It's
That's
September 13th. It's at our stadium. The tickets, you can buy them now. ClevelandBrownsStadium.com/Billy and Rod 2024. More information. Don't miss Billy Joel and Rod Stewart together for one night only. All right. Coming up next, the Chief had a softball weekend. We'll get to that. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. right, welcome back into Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Ballybet, sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. The Chief had his softball weekend over the weekend, his big softball game over the weekend. Both teams were Team Njoku. Did I see that right?
No, there was a Team Njoku and a Team Miles, I believe.
Oh, okay. I thought it said
and
two
Miles
different uniforms
teams, I
for
think,
both.
beat. Maybe it may have said that on there, but those were the two teams.
Those were the two teams. Okay.
And Miles' team, I think, dominated.
Yeah. All right, there you go. So this was what I talked about earlier, which was Deshaun Watson playing first base, leaping to catch a pop-up, and then collided with second baseman, a Browns teammate, Mitchell Payton. So that happened. It's not great, the look. He pops up, he's okay, but he stayed down initially a little bit.
He's fine, and the way he fell with his arm kind of
Yeah.
out is very eerily similar to
Yeah.
how he fell against Tennessee, and so, yeah, not great, but obviously he's fine. So that is good news, and I can tell you from the horse, he is fine.
Yeah, and this took place. This has replaced the old Jarvis softball tournament, right?
Yeah.
All right, we do have a little bit of sound on this. Here is the Chief on Ken Dorsey's offensive playbook.
It's juicy, dog. It's juicy. I'm not going to say anything else. So leave it at that. But I'm really excited for this year.
It's
How
juicy,
long
dog.
until my kids start saying juicy?
Well, if they're listening today.
I would say by the middle of next week. I'm going to
It's
get a lot
juicy.
of it's juicy. Oh, Dad is juicy.
It's juicy.
That's coming.
Yeah. It's juicy. It's good. By the way, it's juicy is preferable to a lot of the stuff that the parlance of their times.
What the Sigma? You
Yeah,
mean?
That, yeah.
That
It's mid.
Bootsy dropped about 75 What the Sigmas last night playing golf. What the Sigma? Does it mean?
Okay.
All right, buddy.
Have fun with it.
Enjoy yourself. Mac Wilson was here, and he was asked about the Chiefs' growth as a player. Here's what he had to say.
Yeah, I think about, the times me and Njoku talked a lot, the time I was in Cleveland. And, I know you guys probably remember, things wasn't always great with Njoku. And, I just seen the will and desire for him to just stay grounded and just keep working day in and day out. And, to see where he at now is crazy. I knew he was one of the best tight ends in the league at the time. And, now he's getting that recognition. It's special, so happy for him. Can't wait to, keep competing against him over the next few years. But, yeah, definitely one of the best in the game.
There you go. Good to have Mac back.
Yeah, it's great to hear from the fluid one. Signed a nice deal with Arizona.
The fluid
Nice
one.
deal.
That's right.
Yeah, so fluid.
The Mac Hammer, the fluid one.
Yeah.
He really was. Yeah. It's good to see that. Good to see all the guys back together.
Totally.
again, and they'll
It's
come in
awesome.
here.
And I know a lot of people who went to the game said it was great. They had a great time.
So I think that one.
By the way,
and
look
then-
at Sags and this is Larry Bird. It's a Larry
Is
Bird
that an-
hoodie.
is that
and
an-
Larry's like this on it, like a caricature.
Get that. Track him down.
Sags, yeah, we need Sags.
I want to see that. I want to see that hoodie again from Sags.
He's quite pleased with the Celtics performance thus far.
Big C's guy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he's from that's
That's
from
the
that
home
part
base.
of the country. Yeah,
Yeah. It's interesting. They are obviously. We'll do some of this and around the sports world in a second. The game one was around 10 million. Was about the viewership of game one, and then the NHL was around 3. Is what those two finals are doing at this point. So
That's
gives you an
amazing.
idea of what's amazing.
that's a ton.
Oh, there's a lot of ways you could read it. Like basically the way I would read it is this way. So 07 was the lowest rated game one ever. That's us against the Spurs.
Yeah.
That was 9.7 million. So the reason that the NBA got what they got financially is because they've maintained. Nothing else has maintained. There's only two things that have gone up, and that's the two footballs. Everything else has cratered. So they've maintained, and that's how they still have the value. Because while 10 isn't, some of the Golden State Cavs or Lakers Celtics stuff with Kobe and that stuff. I mean, some of those were in the 20s.
Remind me of what were the Caitlin Clark ratings in the tournament?
It's like 14 million,
Yeah,
15
higher.
million, bigger, greater. But same would be true. It's the turn. We like a bracket.
Well, this is a tournament.
But like a win and you're done.
Yeah,
It's when it's 4 games. It's
sure. It is the NBA Finals, though. I mean,
It's not, but it ain't what it is. This, I guess, what I was going to say, it ain't what it used to be.
Yep.
It is exactly what it used to be, and
Yep.
that for them is a win.
yep.
So they're not cratering the
Yeah,
way everything else
for
is.
sure,
And so,
for sure.
So that's a win for them. All right, we will go around the sports world coming up next. Second hour of the program. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Get your Cleveland Browns single game tickets now for all the great matchups at Cleveland Browns Stadium. Visit clevelandbrowns.com/tickets or call 440-891-5050 to purchase yours today. We did have a little bit of breaking news in the sports world. Dan Hurley has rejected the Lakers' offer of 6 years. Boy, that's a great shot of him. Put that on the recruiting right there. 6 years, $70 million. Thanks, but no thanks, Los Angeles.
Are you surprised?
No. And people go, oh, this has to do with, coaching in college. No, would you want to, at this point, coach LeBron James and, step in? What coaching is he doing?
Yeah, right.
What they should do is just name LeBron the player coach.
Oh, man.
Bill Russell did it. Let him do it.
Let him do it. That would be funny.
Why not?
And he's basically the GM.
He's doing it anyway. What difference does it make?
Because he's not great as a GM.
He's not great as a GM, although he's back claiming the Kyrie stuff. He's trying to change that.
He forced him out.
Here?
Yes.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's saying that he's
saying he was trying to sign him in L.A.,
yeah,
which he was, and you could have had Kyrie for a bucket of balls, who, by the way, he's not playing great in the finals at all.
It's Luka and...
Yeah, he's not doing much at all.
No. Celtics have a better team. Just watching the games, they have better... They're just a better team.
This was not the team they were supposed to play. It was supposed to be Denver. Or even Minnesota. But Denver is who should have been.
Luka's so good, though.
He is. Yeah.
He's fun to watch.
I don't like watching him. I know we had this talk.
He's fun to watch with some of the great things he does, but it is a plodding style of game. It's boring. It's ball dominant. There's not a lot of motion.
Deliberate.
Movement. It's very deliberate.
It's waiting for someone to come double and then hitting the guy. I mean, he's pinpoint.
His passes are
unbelievable, and he's big enough that he can always get his space and get his shot off. But I'll tell you, I'll be curious. I mentioned the 10 million number on what was that, Thursday night?
Yeah.
So I'll be curious what last night's were.
Yeah.
And because if this starts going that way, it'll fall off in a hurry.
Oh yeah. If Celtics win Game 3, that'll be nobody's watching Game 4.
Yeah. Yeah. You're cooked.
It is. And Tatum hasn't even played well.
No. It's also cool. They drafted all those guys.
Yeah.
They drafted Tatum and Brown, and they were patient.
One thing I do like about Tatum is that he's doing what I think back in the day, I'm going way back in the day, the Cavs fans wish LeBron would have done sometimes when, okay, you're not shooting it well, just put your head down and go to the basket every time. And he just started playing bully ball, basically.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, he did. And I always said this because LeBron did that a lot, especially in the second tenure here.
Yes.
That's
what I said way back.
Way back, yeah. In the second tenure, he did that a lot. And the amount of energy it takes to bring the ball 94 feet and then go downhill towards the rim over and over and over.
Take the hits.
You and I, even at our apex of playing pickup basketball, I'm not doing that.
No way.
I'm not doing that, man. No. I'm going to stand
and then
here.
To play D on the other.
Right. And it's a lot. It's a lot to it. I think that for both of them, and then the hockey's going on now too, $3 million. That's, the Women's College World Series softball did $2.4 million.
Wow.
Which is huge. There is college athletics in general. There has never been more and more interest. The men's baseball will happen this week. The Women's College World Series was last week, and they did a really nice number for them in comparison to what they had previously done. Even the lacrosse numbers, all of those things, they crave collegiate athletics.
By the way, we went out in beautiful Brighton on Friday night, and we were eating outside.
Is that in Michigan or down? Okay.
Yeah. And had a solid meal. Kind of was a backyard patio sports bar type place.
Yeah.
So there were a bunch of TVs, and one of them they had on, I want to say it was North Carolina and Texas Tech, maybe, in baseball. Is that possible?
I think North Carolina played West Virginia.
West Virginia. Yep. Thank you. Mm-hmm. I've not watched any college baseball in a long time.
Yeah.
Two things. Number one, the guys are just, and it's true of every college sport, they're just bigger than they've ever been.
Yes.
Number one. Number two, it feels almost impossible to successfully be a pitcher with these I can't believe that they're playing with aluminum.
I can't believe someone's not been killed.
They hit rockets. And it's interesting. The guy from West Virginia basically had, I think he pitched 5 innings, gave up 5 runs. at North Carolina had pinned like a walk-off homer, I think, at the end of the game. But he had a ton of strikeouts. But it was like if they got a bat on it, it was going to be something monstrous. I'm like I was trying to think. You could not pay me enough to play third base in college baseball with just like in a big time softball league. You can pay. No way am I going to be in third base. Not a chance.
That's funny. No. I wouldn't even stand. I mean, even worse, like standing there. Even if there's another guy pitching or like it's a pitching machine, but I got to defend that position. No, I'm not doing that. Neither of those places. Yeah. No,
I was just watching. I said, I can't believe they're still like these guys are.
So it was a financial thing years ago because it was just you couldn't have wooden bats because wooden bats break.
Yep.
Right. But I don't know if that's still viable or not. I don't know why they don't use wooden bats in college now. I'm guessing they would go monetarily. They can't afford it, but I have a hard time believing that.
Those bats are not cheap. I guess they last, but they bash those in. I bet I guarantee they bash those barrels in. Guarantee. They're hitting the ball way too hard.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, you think about that Paul Skeens dude who's with the Pirates pitching last year at LSU, throwing 101.
Yeah. Gas.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. Some news around the sports world. Darren Waller announces his retirement for the NFL.
It's been a
really tough couple months for him.
Yeah.
The retirement, the divorce from Kelsey Plum, and then they were only married like a year.
Songs.
Yeah, it's been tough. Tough go.
It has been tough.
More from the NFL Sunday ticket trial. The NFL could lose up to $21 billion. The plaintiffs argue that the NFL and other media networks made the NFL Sunday ticket much more expensive than it needed to be. If the NFL loses the case, Sunday ticket will become cheaper, most likely available on a weekly basis, and fans will be able to sit in front. I don't understand the validity of this.
If people were willing to sign up and pay that price, it was priced appropriately. That's called supply and demand, and you come up with a price that as a business that maximizes
we have a
your
business.
Profit. That's their
you
business.
Want to consume it. This is the price we put on it to be able to consume it.
Yeah.
You're paying the price, but you're charging too much?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I don't get it.
I don't understand this at all.
Oh, I got a little breaking news.
Steelers?
Yep.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin.
3-year contract extension. 17 straight seasons without a losing record. Super Bowl champion, been in 2 Super Bowls, 181, 110, and 2 is his head coaching record. By the way, how about this stat from Ian Hart? It's only Steelers playoff victories since 2010 have come against the following quarterbacks: Matt Moore, Alex Smith, which is a good one, A.J. McCarron.
Yeah,
since 2010.
But they get in. They always have a winning record.
And then they don't do much.
Well, but that also is probably the one way to look at that is they haven't beaten anybody good in a long time in the postseason. The other way to look at that would be they're still getting to the postseason without having great quarterback play.
Yep.
And that's because they haven't really had that since prime Ben. There's probably a couple of those years when they had Ben and Antonio Brown where you said they should have gone further than they did.
Yeah.
But there aren't that many underachieving Steelers teams in the last decade.
Agreed. No, he knows absolutely how to motivate them and get the most out of them. They just haven't been right. It's been a few years at least since they were a really good offense.
When was the last? What was the year? Was it when they had
Le'Veon, Antonio Brown?
That one.
Yeah.
Was that like 14?
Yeah.
15
14,
somewhere
15,
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that is probably where that was. But that was the last time that they had like a formidable, like terrifying offense. Because they had like 3 receivers on that team.
So Le'Veon Bell, let's look here. My guess is we're talking about the 14-17 run. Let's see. Let's look at the 2014 Steelers. They go 11-5. They average 27.3 a game. Roethlisberger throws for 5,032 touchdowns with only 9 picks. Le'Veon had 1,361 and 8 rushing. He had 83, 854, and 3 receiving, so 2,200 total yards. Antonio Brown had 1,713 touchdowns. I would not have had this. Martavis Bryant, 26 for 549 and 8 touchdowns, averaging 21 yards a catch. Heath Miller had 761. Their second leading wide receiver was Marcus Wheaton. I don't remember a Marcus Wheaton.
Jeez.
Marcus Wheaton.
Boy, here's something.
Third-round pick of the Steelers in 2013 from Oregon State.
Can I give you that? This is 14, you said?
Yeah.
Here's the bracket of the 2014 NFL playoffs. All right. In the AFC, the 1 was New England,
Okay.
the 2 was Denver,
Okay.
the 3 was Pittsburgh, and the 4 was Indianapolis. Okay?
Yep.
Cincinnati the 5, Baltimore the 6. In the wild card round, Baltimore goes to Heinz Field and wins 30-17.
Yep.
The Colts beat Cincinnati 26-10. So that's Andrew Luck against
Yep.
Dalton. The next week at Denver, Indy beats Denver. Luck beat Manning
Yeah. This is so his next year, second,
24-13.
and he loses to the Patriots in the AFC Championship.
Yeah, they get drilled. And then New England beats Baltimore 35-31 at Gillette, and then New England buries Indy on that side of it. I did not remember.
They almost lost that game to Baltimore, I want to say. Baltimore
Yeah,
started off with a
35-31.
big
I don't
lead.
remember Luck rolling into Denver and beating Peyton Manning.
So that would have been the first year he won one game. So 13 must have been he beat Alex Smith and the Chiefs in like some crazy game, I'm guessing. Let me see. I'll pull up his playoff run.
I mean, that's
By the way,
nuts.
this iPad is
Now you're humming. Look at it. Look how fast you're cruising.
It's an absolute game changer.
It really is. On the NFC side, for curiosity's sake, in that year, Seattle was the 1, Green Bay the 2. This is Seattle. So the Broncos had made it to the championship the previous year when Manning won MVP, got drilled by Seattle. This was Seattle going for back-to-back Super Bowls and blowing it inside the 3-yard line.
Yep.
Seattle should have won Super Bowls back-to-back. They beat Green Bay in the NFC Championship game in Seattle in overtime. They beat Rodgers and the Packers in overtime, 28-22.
Yeah, that was the onside kick game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so his first year he loses in the first round to Baltimore.
Luck, you're
This
talking
is
about?
Luck, 2012. Then the next year he got better like one game every year until then it was over. Then in 2013 he beats Kansas City. I had that right. Alex Smith 45-44. He throws for 443 and 4 touchdowns in that game. He ran for another 45 yards, a shootout. Then they got thumped. This is 2013 by New England 43-22. Then the next year they beat Cincinnati in round 1. They beat Denver in Denver,
Right.
Peyton Manning in round 2. Then they get thumped again by New England. In 2 playoff games against New England, he throws for 457 yards, 2 touchdowns, 6 picks. And then the next year, they beat Houston in 2018 and then lost to Kansas City. But he didn't make the playoffs again from 14 on because, remember, he was injured in 15, comes back 16. They didn't make the playoffs, misses all of 17, and then played 18, and then that was it. That's it.
Yeah.
Gosh.
AFC was just loaded
Loaded.
at that time. Absolutely loaded. The NFL announced their national televised preseason games. Us at Seahawks is not one. So that game's just randomly taking place at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, and I guess we have no national preseason games.
Oh, is that the fact? None?
If that's not it, then national TV preseason. I'll pull that up. But yeah, my guess would mean that we have none because that would have probably been included. 5 national TV games. The Hall of Fame game, Houston against Chicago. Week 1. Okay, then week 2, you've got New Orleans at the Niners on Fox.
Okay.
There are no national TV games, it looks like, the first week. I don't know why that would be the case. But then they got Fox. Then week 3, you've got Indy at Cincinnati on Prime Video on a Thursday. And then you've got on Sunday, New England at Washington on NBC at 8. And you've got Arizona at Denver 4:30 on CBS. So you have 2 national games on August 25th, Sunday on August 25th. So 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's 5. There's not a single national game week 1. And my guess is that's because the teams like to do their local broadcasts. And if you have the national game, you don't get to do that.
Yeah, that would make some sense. All right, there you go. Coming up next, what are the top 3 things we want to see for mandatory minicamp? It's coming up next. Listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. And it's Bo here from my team at Renew Home Exteriors. Is it time to update the exterior of your home? Are you tired of the same old vinyl siding? Composite not only outshines vinyl, it comes in 20 vibrant, maintenance-free colors to suit your lifestyle. Imagine a stunning exterior without the hassle. That's what you get. This month, when you buy a whole house of siding for Renew Home Exteriors, you're going to receive up to 100 feet in new gutters for free. Renew your home with Renew Home Exteriors composite clad siding. Renew Home Exteriors, superior products, superior service. Check them out anytime at renewestimate.com for more on that. The folks want to know, what are the top 3 things that you want to see at mini camp?
All right, so it's kind of, we talked about this kind of in more loose terms, but I would say, number 3, if we're going to go in order, number 3 is going to be just the defense. And when I say the defense, I mean we haven't getting to see Miles out there. What does this defense look like? And the 2 people I'll be looking at really in the middle of the defense are, one, Jordan Hicks, who is he's the new starter on that defense. So you have Hicks and JOK now at linebacker, which I'm excited about. I'll keep an eye on who's the Sam linebacker is, when we're in a true 3 linebacker set, who's getting those first reps alongside, Hicks and JOK, because I think that's a position that is maybe up for competition. How Mike Hall is going to be used in his rookie year. Are there already sub packages in place for him early on, or is that something that he's going to have to earn as training camp and preseason go on? And then on the back end, Juan Thornhill's calf injury that he suffered against Kansas City in the preseason finale when he had a pick 6 in that game affected him all year, and he felt like he was never able to really be himself. And so, and you remember in the preseason, he was flying around, making plays. So I want to see, Juan Thornhill, now that he's back. He just had a child, so congrats to him on that. What does that look like with Thornhill and with Grant and, our 3 corners, and who's, Cam Mitchell's the 4th corner. So there's not a whole lot up for debate there.
No.
And then you flip it around offensively, DeWand, do we see DeWand take any work other than right tackle? And so far, no. Is Jed Wills ready to go? Where are Jed and Jack Conklin at? In the running back room, what's kind of the plan? Like the initial split, assuming no Nick Chubb early.
Yeah, that's
what is it? Is it Ford and then Deontay Foreman just kind of sliding into the role of Kareem Hunt, or is Foreman really the guy? His resume would say he is our lead back, but Ford's been so good in that role. Is Pierre Strong ready to get some more opportunities? So kind of seeing what that running back rotation looks like will be interesting to me. And then this is going to be, to get to see Jerry Judy and Amari and Chief and Elijah and Cedric Tillman all out there together. That's going to be fun. And then the number 1 thing is new concepts, new motions, new scheme offensively. How different is it? What are the things that you're going to be doing? Are we seeing so much more shotgun? All of that. And to what level does Deshaun Watson participate? And I'm with you there. I'm in no rush. This is the most important things are coming, later on this season. What position is he going to be in, and how much will he play? How much will he throw? And if not, then we get to watch Jameis, who's been great. And I'm excited to see, DTR back as well, because I think that DTR still has a very bright future. I thought, leads us to a win against Pittsburgh. That game against Denver, when he gets knocked out, he got it going. He'd scored the last 2 possessions. He was starting to move the ball and play with some confidence. So I'm excited to see DTR as well. And then the kickoffs. I mean, that's the most fun thing that's going on out there, because it is so different and so cool to watch.
That's the coolest. You hit on all of the big points. The quarterback thing, the offense thing is obviously number 1. That'll be number 1 every day at camp by the time we get there. But you hit on something else that I'm really. I just want to see what it looks like. I've heard so much about Tillman and how it looks so much different in year 2 compared to year 1 for him.
Yep.
And he provides something that we otherwise do not have with his size.
Yeah.
And then Jerry Judy, because he was one of the purest, cleanest college receivers in recent years coming out of Alabama. His route running is just nuts.
Yeah.
And to get a look at him out there kind of doing his business, I think is pretty exciting as well. But look, this kind of goes for like our whole offseason. I'm sure it feels like we're beating a dead horse with this, but like, quite honestly, for you out there, the collective you, the listening audience, this doesn't really matter. What matters is September. What matters is October. You have a fully formed
Yes.
roster that's loaded, that is talent laden. That if you get B quarterback play,
Yep.
you are a contender to win the Super Bowl. So that's it.
Yep.
And so there's nothing that's going to happen in the next 3 days, barring an injury, which could be catastrophic. So you don't want any of
You don't want
that.
that.
So as long
Yeah.
as that doesn't happen, then you're fine, and we'll see on down the road.
So I just pulled up for fun Lance Zierlein's draft profile on Jerry Judy and had him as a year one starter, elite prospect. His NFL comp that he gave was Santonio Holmes.
Really?
Says, mixes tight, crisp route running with impressive top-end speed to keep secondaries on eggshells throughout the game. High-cut leggy in his press release, but fluid hips above average agility prevent any stagnation. Linear route specialist, hands need work, contested catches will be challenging, can play inside or outside, can both widen or lengthen the field from the slot, has the ability to become a Pro Bowl caliber wide receiver, one who can help his offense on all three levels. So, yeah, he liked him.
How many?
He meant that as a compliment, Santonio Holmes.
Yeah, I would have thought a little higher ceiling. How many 1,000-yard seasons for Santonio Holmes?
In his NFL career?
His NFL career.
That was a good one.
And he had one of the greatest Super Bowl catches ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, based on the way you asked it, that I'm going to say 0, but I would have thought 2.
He had 1248 in 2009. His career high in touchdowns was 8.
Yeah.
It was only with 650 yards. He went 824, 942, 821, 1248, and then it goes down from there.
Okay.
It's kind of the way that it went there. And he was kind of like, he had that moment in the Super Bowl. Boy, it's funny. Like he got a ton of targets. How about this? In 2008, 114 targets, just 55 receptions. So you don't know if that's the quarterback play or what, but
Yeah.
that's a lot of misses
It's a lot of misses.
to get to that point. 138 targets in 2009, 79 catches. So they went that way a lot. It just didn't work as well as it should have, you wouldn't think.
Yeah.
And I would imagine what happened is like Antonio Brown crossed over, and Antonio Brown became what they thought Santonio Holmes was going to be.
Yeah, my guess is he probably also had, 2006. Yeah, he was on the way out by the time. He was already in New York before Antonio Brown got there. Mike Wallace might have been the other receiver there. So he played huge in his contract year and then left and went to
Bolted
to the Jets.
It's just crazy that for probably a 6-year period, Antonio Brown was the best receiver in the NFL by a wide margin.
A lot.
Yeah. Listen to these in a row.
Oh, yeah.
110, 1499 and 8, 129, 1698 and 13,
Yep.
136, 1834 and 10,
Yeah.
106, 1284 and 12, 101, 1533 and 9.
And that's in 14 games. 15.
That's right. You're right. And then 10, then what's the other one? 104, 1297 and 15.
Twice led the league in catches, twice led the league in yards, once led the league in touchdowns, once led the league in yards per game, once led the league in yards per touch.
And he was even great as last year in Pittsburgh. It's 104, 1297 and 15, and then it's done. It's over.
That's over.
At that point, it's over. At age 31, he's done. 19, 20, 21, he's done. It's over.
He had 4 for 56 and a touchdown in New England. Then he goes to Tampa, 45, 43 and 4, 42, 5, 45 and 4. That's wild.
That's absolutely nuts to do that type of stuff. It's absolutely. He's a first ballot Hoff, though.
7-time Pro Bowl, 4-time All-Pro, All-Decade team.
It's the Terrell Davis thing, though, right?
I mean, that 6-year run is as good as anybody's.
As anyone's ever had.
Yeah.
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 No,
Let me
it
see.
would be.
I want to see if, because I know it's a different year, but we're talking about GOATs. So Jerry Rice had that we just described for 1, 2, 3,
probably at least
4,
a decade.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 straight years, then gets hurt and comes back. So really 13 straight full seasons from 1986 to 1998. Jerry Rice did that every single year in a much different era. Jerry Rice's numbers are crazy. This is in the 80s. Listen to this run he goes on. 86, 15, 70, and 15. Then the next year in 12 games, 65, 10, 78, and 22. then 64, 1306 and 9, 82, 1483 and 17, 100, 1502 and 13, 80, 1206 and 14, 84, 1201 and 10, 98, 1503 and 15, 112, 1513, 122, 1848 and 15, 108, 1254 and 8, and then 82, 1157 and 9. And then at the age of 39 with the Raiders, he has the following 2 seasons back-to-back, 39, 83, 1139 and 9. And then at the age of 40 years old, 92, 12, 11, and 7.
So he went
40.
No, yeah, he was. I would say like he's the best offensive position player
Ever.
and then LT would be the defensive opposite of that. Like from that era,
Yeah.
LT is the greatest defensive player ever. They were in that.
Is
in that same era.
LT? So I'm just gonna throw a name out there. Is LT better than like Dion was for his whole career?
I think so.
I think so.
I mean, people put him in a different echelon.
10 Pro Bowls, 8 first-team All-Pros was,
For LT?
I think, the last defensive player to win the
MVP.
MVP.
LT?
Yeah, 1986, 20 and a half sacks that year.
Yeah. I think he was. I don't think Dion has 8 first-team All-Pros, does he?
No, he has 6. He only had 6 seasons with double-digit sacks, which surprises me.
Yeah.
But there were 6 in a row. That's when he was pretty good.
Yeah. Quite good. In terms of the Hall of Fame monitor, that like Pro Football Focus or Reference does.
Yeah.
On Antonio Brown, he's 104.48.
Okay.
The average Hall of Fame receiver is 101.4.
Okay.
So he's right. He's going to be right on that edge, right on the edge of it. All right, coming up next, PFF.
Do you want to know Lawrence Taylor's is?
His Hall of Fame monitor.
222.55.
Who's got the highest?
That's what I was trying to. So this says first among. I'm see if it's going to give me if I can do it by position. So these are just linebackers. So he's got 222. The top quarterback Tom Brady 263, Peyton Manning 257. So they're higher. But he's got to be up there. There's no running back at that level. Let's see what Jerry Rice is. Jerry Rice's is 311.9. Jerry Rice is number one. He's number one.
That's it. Aaron Donald would have to be
I'm looking and pulling him up.
in the 200s.
Okay, no offensive linemen. It doesn't look like are even close. So far, it's 2 quarter. So in terms of over 200, we've got 2 quarterbacks. We've got Jerry Rice, and we've got Lawrence Taylor. Aaron Donald's 181. Reggie White 239. Bruce Smith 213. So Reggie White, they think actually would be the GOAT over LT.
You know, their number one defensive back is Rod Woodson.
Wow.
Rod Woodson ahead of Prime and Ronnie Lott and Ed Reed.
And they're not even on the level of
No, they're 177. Ray Lewis 197. Did you do that?
Ray Lewis 197. Yep.
Yeah. What's the
That's
Hoff
up
is
200.
112.
Yeah.
Munoz, Forrest Gregg, Jim Parker, Willie Roaf, and Joe Thomas.
That's wild, man.
Number one running back was
Walter Payton.
214.
Yeah.
Jim Brown 182.
182. What's the guy got to do?
What's the guy got to do here, man? Are you
Yeah.
kidding?
Frank Gore and Adrian Peterson are the 2 highest ranked that have not yet made the Hall of Fame. That's incredible to me, though. You're talking. So I'm going to pull up Reggie White. So we said.
Well,
10,
there's only how many people over 200? You had Brady, Manning, Rice,
Walter
LT,
Payton.
Walter Payton, Rice 311. Good
311.
God.
So Reggie White, 13 All-Pros, 13 Pro Bowls, 8 first-team All-Pros, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Jeez. All right, so you've got Reggie White, Bruce Smith, Manning, Brady, Walter Payton, Reggie White. You've got that's 6. You've got LT.
Hold on. You said the 2 quarterbacks, Walter Payton, Jerry Rice.
Yep.
And then you said Reggie White, Bruce Smith is 7,
Yep.
LT's 8.
LT's 8, and that's it.
That's it.
Yep, that's it.
I mean, I think Reggie White is the GOAT.
The greatest defensive player of all time.
I said LT had double-digit sacks in 6 straight years.
Yeah.
8 first-team All-Pros, they have the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 straight. 10 total, 11, 12 total, never had below 8 sacks. In fact, at the age of 37, he had 16 sacks and won Defensive Player of the Year.
I think he's somebody that's crazy. Yeah, you're right. He's the guy. He's also someone who, because he passed so early,
Yeah.
you don't see him at like the Hall of Fame stuff,
Yeah.
the 100th anniversary, and that's he's always on those teams, but because he isn't around, you don't get the reminder of
You
it.
don't get it. Yeah.
All right, PFF. Way too early picks for division winners. We'll see what we agree with, what we disagree with coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. PFF. Trevor Sickba with this. Way too early division winner picks. You ready?
I'm ready.
NFC. Detroit Lions. Chalk.
I'm fine with that. I mean, they should be the favorite, but Green Bay and Chicago, I think, are both going to be right there when it's all said and done.
That's the most, over the last couple of years, the most improved division.
Yeah.
They got 3 really good teams. I think that Chicago's going to be – I'm with you. For me, I think I took the under on them.
Yeah.
'Cause I think it was like 8.5.
I think it'll be good.
They should be.
Yeah.
They should be very good. And then I think I like Green Bay a lot. That was, remember last year, like Gibby kept thinking they weren't good.
Yeah.
Like if you watched them the last month.
No, he hadn't watched.
They're really good.
They should have beat the Niners.
They really should have. And then Detroit is ready made. But I don't have a trouble with Detroit. But I think there's room for 3. I think honestly the NFC East, he picks Philly. This is one of the easiest picks just because I don't know who else would do it.
Dallas.
Dallas does not have any running backs. They're not paying any. Like they're going to pay anybody. Like it's almost like Jared's kind of like.
I don't know what he's doing.
Let's ride it out, see what happens.
Why does he want to pay CD Lamb?
I have no idea. And he's like Dak can walk. I don't understand. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. Like, is he going to?
Maybe he thinks that's going to motivate everybody to be their best.
I don't know.
It's them. I mean, the Giants are not winning the division.
No, the other 2 teams are nothing.
No. So it's Philly or Dallas.
I think by a distance. This one I disagree with. NFC South.
I got Atlanta.
Tampa Bay.
Give me Atlanta.
I'll take Atlanta all day.
Yep.
Take Atlanta all day on that.
That's a 3-horse race: Atlanta, New Orleans, Tampa Bay.
Yep.
West Niners.
And this is the easiest.
Yeah.
This is the easiest one. Probably is the 49ers.
Agreed.
Going forward, AFC West, easy.
Yeah.
Peasy. KC.
Chargers are the only other team. It's even in the
I
ballpark.
took the over on them of San Diego.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, LA. They'll always be San Diego to me. But I took the over on them. Where was it? I think that was 8.5.
It might even have been 8.5 or 9.
Yeah.
It was in that range.
Yeah, I think Harbaugh's a good coach. He can
Yes.
coach. Texans in the AFC South are the pick.
Yeah, and I think that Kevin Mack
Great
walking
Kevin
around.
Mack striding around.
I think that the Texans are the favorite. The Jags certainly can do it. The Colts certainly can do it. But yeah, I think that's. And then the Titans, it feels like, are a little bit behind the curve. But they tried to get their young quarterback some weapons, signing Calvin Ridley to that big deal. So we'll see what they can do. But yeah, I think Houston. They're the favorite. Agreed.
Yeah, they are a little too popular for me.
They are, but sometimes that doesn't matter. But yes, they currently are. They are being treated kind of like the Raiders were that one year, and that never happened.
That's right. Yeah. AFC East, Miami.
I really think if Rodgers plays a full year, which is obviously a huge if, I like the Jets.
We'll get to our second one. They get Cincinnati. I'm with you. The Cincinnati in the North. So obviously we're picking us. The Burrow healthy for Baltimore versus Rodgers healthy for the Jets. If they're both healthy, which team's better?
I think the Jets are a better overall team.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, they're loaded.
Yeah, they are.
They are loaded on offense, and they are loaded on defense.
Yeah.
So I would say the Jets, but I mean, Burrow and the Bengals, when he's been healthy, they've been incredibly successful. I think you really could make a legitimate case for any of the 3 teams in the AFC North to win it. I don't think the Steelers can win the division, but maybe they can.
The crazy thing about them is somehow they get into the postseason. It's like,
they got in the postseason last year, and I'm pretty sure they lost back-to-back games against Arizona and New England.
I think you're right.
Didn't they?
I think you're right.
I know they lost Arizona at home, and I'm
you might be
pretty
right.
sure that they did lose at some point to, let's see, we'll put in Najee Harris.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Najee Harris doesn't even get a lot of love he's not even listed in the top Harris, is it? That Pro Football Reference. Right.
It's not quite Trent Richardson.
No.
It's not that.
No, but
because he can catch it, but he has been
similar.
He's done
plotting.
very, very, very little. He just does not have the explosiveness.
All right, so I did have that right. They, in fact, they beat the Bengals in Cincy and then lose at home to Arizona and at home to New England on Thursday Night Football, and then lost at Indy and then beat Cincy, Seattle, in a game they wanted to win and beat Baltimore in week 18 when they were resting people and they got in at 10-7 and then got smoked by the Bills. That's craziness.
That is craziness. I'll save the story for tomorrow.
Okay.
But for just because it's incredible.
Okay.
But we were down at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, as I mentioned, with the Hoff on Saturday. And so you get to the pro shop, and they had all the new uniforms. So they had the Texans' new uniforms. So the first time I'd seen them in person.
Okay.
So they had them in the pro shop. So they had the Texans' new uniforms. It is, I'm telling you what, buddy, it is the darkest blue you've ever seen in your life. To the point where my buddy JR was like, "That's black." And I'm like, "No, it's blue."
Not,
and he's
right.
like, "I'm telling you, it's black." So I had to take it up to a Steelers jersey to put
Side
them
by
next to
side.
each other
Yep.
to tell that it was blue. But it's the darkest blue you've ever seen. It's a big time difference. So they're old ones there too. It's a huge difference year to year in terms of the blue. It is several Pantones up. The Detroit Lions are gorgeous.
Yeah. It's got
They are perfect. They had a Goff one, the home one.
Of the blue?
The blue is stunning.
Did they have the black with the blue?
They did not.
No,
they had the
blue.
They had the blue.
It's perfect.
And it is pristine.
Yeah.
Like, it was one of those things that it reminded me very much like when the Chargers dropped the baby blue, the light blue, and you saw it and it just, your eye went to it.
Yeah, you're like,
same
perfect.
thing. As soon as you see it, you just went, pff.
Well, you and I didn't get to talk about it, but how about the Vikings doing what we called for?
They did.
Yeah. The only thing I would have changed is I would have had the numbers be white as well with a purple outline on the number instead of a purple number. Because you could have gotten that same effect, and I just think it would have made it look so.
All right, let me pull it up.
So good.
Let me.
I mean, they're.
I was at the golf tournament, so I didn't get a chance.
They
to
are phenomenal.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Is you're saying have the numbers be
white with purple outline.
I think the reason for that, it would have been hard
on
to read,
TV.
very hard to read.
But they did that with those Pro Bowl uniforms that year, and it was fine. They were
Yeah.
white with like an orange outline of white numbers on white.
So this is the first time that the Minnesota Vikings have ever had a stripe on the helmet.
Yep.
So they've never done that before. The helmet,
Never a stripe?
No, just the horns.
I thought in the old days they had one white stripe. Am I
No,
wrong?
I think I read that this over the weekend that they've never had a stripe on it. I also love the idea that they didn't use any gold in it.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Like, they just took the two colors and did it. Man, it's good. It is very, very nice. I like it. I like it a lot. The horn is perfect. The face mask is perfect. They had
perfect.
The Jets ones down there are really clean too. Now, they're just the old ones.
Yeah.
But it's a clean look for the JETS Jets.
Yeah,
Jets.
you're right. I'm looking at them. I always thought
think
those deep, the old school deep purples, but I must be confusing it with like a Rams when the Rams had
could
that
be.
deep blue.
Yeah.
They
No.
had one
No stripe.
Yeah, no stripe.
All right. So much more to come. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, tomorrow's a big day. Day one,
Let's go.
mandatories. We're off and running. Going to be fun.
Yeah,
should
can't
be
wait.
able to hear a lot of the post-practice.
There'll be tons.
We'll be
tons
here,
of content.
and we'll get a good look at it coming up around 11.
We'll be
go.
here. I don't know about Gibbe.
Any update? None. No updates. We'll see him on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Be fun either way. Be fun either
It'll
way.
be great. Yeah.
Going to be fun. 3 days of football and then a hiatus that is well deserved by all. The next level is coming up next. Thanks for listening, everybody. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.